Sheffield Wednesday continue to fly towards triple figure points for the season. Plymouth Argyle seem to be faltering. Ipswich and Bolton picking up crucial wins, and Barnsley win their crucial 6-pointer against Derby County. Who is going up to the Championship, guys? Let's talk about the League One promotion race. Before we get into this video, guys, if you're a League One fan, share your comments down below. Do make sure to drop a like. We're going for 151 likes on this video, so do make sure to like and do make sure to subscribe, and let's go through the teams. Let's look at the table, guys. Sheffield Wednesday are top, and they are really in good form as well. They are honestly heading towards some record-breaking numbers. They've had a fantastic season. We've said so many times before about Darren Moore's team, and remember, I said at the start of the season Sheffield Wednesday would win the league. To be fair, a lot of people did. The bookies had Sheffield Wednesday as one of the favourites to do that, but they are seriously playing some amazing football, and they're the best away team in League One. They're the second best home team. Put that together and they are top of the table. A crucial win away from home for the Owls, and they sent their thousands and thousands of fans mental at the Valley down at Charlton. Honestly, I can't see a way in which Sheffield Wednesday don't wrap up automatic promotion. They've got such a healthy gap, and they could afford a couple of defeats and draws, but the way they're going, that doesn't look likely. They haven't lost a game in 100 years, it seems. Sheffield Wednesday are seriously flying up the table, and I don't even think we need to discuss them that more the way they are going. Yes, of course, mathematically, they need to keep winning to wrap up that top two and top spot, because I don't see anyone else winning the league than Sheffield Wednesday, but it's pretty hard to see Sheffield Wednesday falling away the way they are going. The more interesting argument is Plymouth Argyle. Are they faltering? Yes, they've done fantastic to get to the Pizza Cup final, but in League One, in their last couple of games, they haven't won. And not only that, but to lose 5-2 at Peterborough United is a really damaging result. Not just damages the goal difference, but damages the morale a bit, of course. Plymouth Argyle still hold the record as the best home team in League One, but with away results like that, things will be brought into question, and obviously with so many teams trying to drag themselves into this argument, Plymouth can't afford too many of these results. Yes, let's look at it. Plymouth still look favourites with the gap they've got at the moment, but Ipswich might be back on track. The Tractor Boys ground out a 1-0 win at Stadium MK to send their thousands of away fans mental as well, and although Ipswich have been faltering a little bit recently, back-to-back wins, and can we start to take Ipswich chances seriously again? Once again, we've said how many crucial games are coming up for all of these teams. There's 6-pointers where some of these have got to play each other. Ipswich's run-in for March looks like this. They face Burton at home and then Accrington at home. They've got to get 6 points from those two games to be taken seriously in this top two conversation. But they go away to Bolton, back at home to Shrewsbury, who are also in good form, and then away to Barnsley. So that is 3 absolutely massive games. We'll look forward just a little bit more for Ipswich as well, and look at April, because then they take on Derby County away. So some really challenging away games coming up for the Tractor Boys, but they want to go into those games with good form, and this could be the right time for them. Bolton Wanderers have made it 7 wins in 8. It's an incredible record. Bolton Wanderers are another team that are flying towards this conversation. I remember a few weeks ago we discussed Bolton Wanderers as a team that were probably going to try and wrap up a top 6 finish, but in this form, they certainly deserve to be battling for the top 2. Bolton Wanderers are obviously flying, and as we said, big games coming. Can they close that gap? At this moment in time, Bolton Wanderers have played a game more than Plymouth, Ipswich, and a couple more than Derby, and a few more than Barnsley, but they obviously can't control other teams' results. But if they just keep winning their games, then it'll be interesting to see where they end up. Having a little dive into Bolton Wanderers fixtures, they go away to Fratton Park, which could be interesting, then go away to Morecambe before a home game against Ipswich and an away game against Sheffield Wednesday. It feels like March could be do or die for Bolton Wanderers. If they can come out of those 4 games with 3 wins and a draw maybe, then we've really got to take them seriously, because Bolton Wanderers, despite playing more games, are in arguably the best form in the league. They're absolutely flying. Speaking of amazing form, you've got Barnsley up in 5th. Barnsley leapfrogged Derby County in their crucial 6-pointer, and they're up to 5th. And the key thing with Barnsley is those games in hand. They have 2 games in hand on most teams, 3 in hand on Bolton just above them. And you look at it, they're actually 9 points behind Plymouth Argyle. If they win those 2 games in hand, it's a big if, but the form Barnsley are in, it's not out of the question, then they shut the gap to 3 points, and Plymouth will really start to sweat, and the pressure will be on them. Barnsley, once again, a team we were discussing a few weeks ago as a team that will probably be happy to wrap up the top 6, but brilliant form from them, keeping the pace with some of these top teams, and they're once again in this top 2 conversation. Barnsley's fixtures are mad as well. Let's have a look at this. Bristol Rovers away, Portsmouth at home, but then Plymouth at home is a big one. And as we said, Plymouth are better when they're at home. So this is a massive opportunity. You feel like Barnsley have got to win that game at Oakwell to really try and turn the tide on this battle. They then go away to Wycombe, which we all know is a very difficult game in League One. They then host Sheffield Wednesday, host Ipswich, and go away to Exeter City. So once again, do or die month for Barnsley. They've got to keep themselves in this. They might lose 1 or 2 games in there, but they've got to try and win the others. Draws at this point aren't much use when everyone's going at 100 miles per hour. And as I say, I'm going to pencil down that game, Barnsley versus Plymouth, as possibly one of the biggest in League One this season. Derby County find themselves in 6th with just 1 win in 4. We were saying just a few weeks ago about how amazing Derby County were doing, but the other teams are really trying to match those standards. And with Derby County's little slip in form, Derby County are now down to 6th. Looking at the table, you can see there's an 11-point gap between them and Plymouth Argyle. They have got a game in hand. If they win it, it's then to 8 points. But the form Derby are in, it's going to be a real challenge for them to now try and get back towards a top 2 conversation. Looking at their fixtures, they host Cheltenham, then they host Shrewsbury, who we said once again are a bit of a tricky team to get past at the moment, and then they go away to Plymouth Argyle. Not quite the luxury of hosting Plymouth. As we say, Plymouth is the hardest place to go in League One this season. Oxford United away follows, and then Fleetwood at home, and then Peterborough away. Real banana skins in there for Derby County. Obviously, to wrap up top 2, you need to get past banana skins. Can Derby County go on a good run again, or will they just have to be happy to settle for a top 6 finish this season? We'll briefly mention Wycombe, Shrewsbury and Peterborough now. In terms of getting to the top 2, it's not realistic that one of these would do it. They'd have to pretty much win every game from now on in. But the top 6 dream is very alive for these teams. Wycombe did just take on Shrewsbury, in which Shrewsbury came out on top. Wycombe, obviously having lost Gareth Ainsworth, really need to try and keep their form good to stay in this conversation. As we say, everyone is going at 100 miles per hour. Shrewsbury, though, we must give lots of credit to because they've been very good recently. Wycombe obviously host Exeter and Fleetwood, then go away to Burton and Bristol Rovers before hosting Barnsley and going away to Charlton. So just Barnsley in there from this top 9. So can Wycombe go on a good run to get into that top 6? It's not impossible. Shrewsbury, meanwhile, take on quite a few of the top teams in March. They go away to Derby, they then go away to Peterborough, who are right behind them. They then host Morecambe, go away to Ipswich and host Bristol Rovers. You feel like this will be a really telling month for Shrewsbury Town. Can they break into that top 6? And then finally, we'll talk about Peterborough United, who after that 5-0 defeat to Bolton just a couple of weeks ago, I was really concerned for and thought they probably didn't have what it takes to get in there. But they've won back-to-back games, including 3-0 away at Morecambe. And to beat Plymouth Argyle 5-2, they've done everyone else a favour up the top, and they've given themselves a massive chance, of course. Looking at Peterborough United's fixtures and the way they're going, I'll maybe get some results from them. They've got Charlton at home, they then go away to Sheffield Wednesday, host Shrewsbury Town, host Cheltenham, away to Burton, away to Lincoln, and then host Derby. I feel like that Peterborough Derby game could be really big for that top 6 conversation. Peterborough United, we all know how good their forward line is. They can score lots and lots of goals as they did against Plymouth. Are they in this conversation to get back into the Championship? So then, guys, that wraps up the League One conversation of who is going up. Let me know your thoughts down below. It's F1 racing. Everyone's going past each other at over 200 miles an hour. Give us your thoughts down below, guys. Obviously, make sure to drop a like and subscribe. Who's going up to the Championship? God knows.